viewers, I'm Chia Jane and welcome to my channel Evolve Beyond Ness. So I'm here to talk about my depression to you in relation to my friend Nesrine who's from Australia, and I met her around 8 to 10 months back through my life coach Rodolfo. And since then, my journey with depression has been really, what do I say? It took a step ahead. It took a step forward. I became open to talk about it. And this is the first time I think even I will be talking more about my depression and anxiety, because this has been the only secret in my life so far that I never wanted to talk about this openly, and I was so scared of stigma and everything that's around depression and anxiety, and the names people call you and everything, the kind of uh, the kind of rapport we have for people with mental illnesses. And I think it's not a mental illness, but it is an emotional illness, of course. Yes. And it's never too late to ask for help. And when I met my friend Nasteen, I understood, that I had my own beliefs around, it's easy for others, and it is easier when you are on the other side of the globe, because they have more freedom, they have more access, and X, Y, Z reasons. Till I realized after meeting her and so many other friends of mine from the other parts of the globe now, I understood and I learned that, it's my own mind which is tricking me, which is just tricking me to stay away or to focus on my own growth. My own mind is showing me excuses for not reaching where I want to reach and give n number of excuses. The most important thing is for you to find your pieces. And I have, since my first delivery, when I first encountered anxiety, I have been spilling my pieces and collecting my pieces, every day, every moment and times, for months together. I never knew how long I have to stay in this depression, once it started. It could be for weeks, for months, and sometimes for years also. It's been in more than 18 years now since I've been there. I've been here in this. But yes, I have made my own progress, and I hope to inspire you all on your journey. And here I'm to welcome my friend Nesrine. She's from Australia, a very charming friend. We have, as since 8 to 10 months, we have been, she's really been a very nice friend of mine. She pulls me out of my comfort zone. I pull her out of her comfort zone sometimes. We have long talks. And to me, she's like a very young, bubbly, charming girl. When I met her first, I was like, have you ever gone through depression? Not at all. It's not possible. Look at you. And I also felt that she has everything sorted. And that's where I understood. I could see my own limiting beliefs. Don't judge others. And yes, my journey with her and my bond with her has helped me grow, evolve every minute of my life. So I'm so happy to introduce you to my friend Nesrine from Australia. Hi, Nesrine. How are you?
Hello, Gia. How are you? Thank you for that lovely introduction. I'm so happy to
You
be
deserve it all.
Thank you so much.
So, Nesrine, I would like you to introduce yourself to our viewers.
Yes. All right. So where do I start? It's a pretty interesting story. Like, it is not a usual story, I would say. And it starts with where I was born and to actually my parents. Like, I was born in Tunisia, where my dad is from. Tunisia is located North Africa, just below Italy. And my mom is Swiss. So I grew up in a very multicultural environment, with like home being Switzerland, like where everything was Swiss, like most of the food, the TV that we watched was French and German. And then outside the house was Tunisia, with like, like the Arabic Muslim world, like with all, different language, first of all, like other cultures. So growing up, I was always a little bit, like confused a little bit. Am I now more Tunisian or am I more Swiss? I felt like I could never really fit in. I'm always like different than other people. And like there I started, you know, like growing up as a kid, I was a very, like you described before, a bubbly, you know, happy, outgoing child. But that didn't last very long. Like looking back at pictures of when I was small, I was like very happy, very outgoing. Like I used to dance and sing all the time. And at some point in my life, it, you know, like a flower, actually my name means a flower. So I like to speak about flowers. So it was like
Beautiful.
this radiant, thank you. So I was like this radiant child, this radiant flower. And then things happened into my life. And then I started to um, like, how is it called? Like wilt more and more and more every year, every year, every year. So from being this vibrant, outgoing child, I started to become like really depressed. Really, I used to close up myself, and I used to like, I suffered. Like now, being out of it, I realized how bad it was. I actually suffered from really bad depression and anxiety for years and years and years. Like until recently, until I would say until 2 years ago, like 2 years ago started like my really deep. It started in 2017, but I would say I overcame it 2 years ago. Like before that, I was like constantly anxious about what people are gonna say. Like when I used to, walk on the streets, I used to feel like people observe me. And here I'd like to mention that because growing up, like in Tunisia and being different, I was like bullied by other kids. Like my looks, they were telling me that, I was, as a kid, I was a little bit chubby. So I used to call me fat and things like that. So instead of like being happy dancing with my body, I used to feel like fat, I'm not allowed to dance. So I actually stopped that. And then, other people, like, in school as well, I was called like dumb, so I'm like, I closed up again. And then I felt like, and also being like the third child, I felt like, you don't have that attention around you, especially if you have a smaller brother. So I felt like I didn't get the love like from my family as much as I needed. And then as well, like being bullied from other people, I started closing up. And I used to ask myself, like, why, how can I get the love? Like I didn't realize it, but this is what I unconsciously used to do. How can I get the love? Okay, people are saying that I'm fat, I need to be skinny. So I spent all my teenager years like on a weight loss journey. Then people used to say, oh, your sisters are more beautiful than you. And then I used to say, why? Because they had like straight hair. So, and I have curly hair. So I used to straighten my hair. I used to like avoid sun because like I have both, like I can be like, like light when I'm away from the sun, but it also can be really dark when I get in the sun. And then I love the sun as growing up. So I used to stay in the sun all the time. So people would say, you don't look beautiful. So I would stay away from the sun to stay white, just so I can be recognized by people, be loved. Like when it comes to those, like to when people bullied me because of, when they said I'm dumb. So I spent my whole teenager years trying to do the best at everything. I used to like spend all the holidays studying. And then I ended up like being the best, but for the wrong reason, just to get the love. So I was going on this journey of like going away from being my true me and just trying to fit in, just trying to be loved. And there I lost myself. I started more and more getting depressed. I thought like once I get there, once I become the best at school, I'll get what I want, the love, but I didn't. And then I moved to, when I was 19, when I finished high school, by the way, I was like the best of the school, the whole school, I was the best. This still wasn't enough. Like I was miserable after that because, yeah, like I said, I was doing it for the wrong reason. So I moved then to Switzerland, my second country, because actually my ex-boyfriend back then, he moved to Germany to study. And then he said, you should come to Switzerland. They have really good universities there. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, I could like, because I didn't feel really I would fit in. I fit in Tunisia. Maybe I fit in Switzerland, So I moved there and studied at a really good university because I thought I need to prove everyone that I am worthy, that I can do it. So I studied like at the second best university of Switzerland for my bachelor's. And then I'm like, okay, this is not enough. I need to get my master's at the fifth best university of the world. It's the ETH. It's like the university that Einstein taught. Imagine that. I studied there and I got my master's there. And I got like really good grades. And I was thinking that was only like 2 years ago. In December, it's going to be 2 years ago. So I remember like being during my graduation and about to get my diploma, and I was sitting there and I was like thinking to myself, well, what am I doing here? Like I got 80% and I was still like comparing myself to that person who had 90% of the grades. And I was thinking that, oh, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy of this, you know? So, and that obviously created depression and anxiety of what am I going to do next? Like I hit the highs that I thought I could. How can I do better, you know, to like get what I want?
The
So I was
rock
completely
bottom.
lost. Yes. So I was completely lost. Once I got that diploma, I hit rock bottom. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do with my life? You know, I spent 8 years studying so hard, and I didn't choose an easy subject. I studied science. So I was doing research, so really hard topic, just for me to prove that I can do this, you know, I can do really hard stuff. But then, you know, like I said, I was doing it for the wrong reason. I was doing it to get love instead of actually looking within and finding that love within and loving myself without attachment to what's happening outside, you know?
I just,
So
I just want
yeah.
you, sorry, I want to interrupt you, Nasreen. As you're talking, it seems like you're talking to me, you know, and how it's such a same journey, that how I have really tried beyond my levels to be seen, to get the attention, to get the love, and everything was for maybe for wrong reasons, but we didn't knew then. And how,
Yeah.
like, you know, how much of stress we have given to our own selves. And my thing was all about looking beautiful, all about looking beautiful. And for that, I have gone beyond, you know, to do something. And it was till I broke down completely, and to be loved, to be recognized. And I broke down after my first delivery because I was trying too hard to get the love from the family that I was introduced to after my marriage, and that broke me to pieces. It was a huge thing after then, big.
It's actually the most important thing in the world, that you love yourself first, you know, and it sounds so cheesy, but it's so important. Like once I hit that rock bottom and I achieved all that I had in mind, and I was still not happy. I realized that I need to change. And then later on, I realized that, oh my God, like it's such a simple thing. It's really hard to do, but it's such a simple thing. It starts with loving yourself, like having compassion for yourself, tapping in that feminine energy that is like, you know, loving, that is nurturing. You know, if you don't get the love from the others, you know, give it to yourself, give yourself a
Yes.
hug, you know?
Yeah, I do this.
It feels so good, doesn't it? It's so simple. So for your viewers,
Yes.
if you're like angry, like give yourself a hug. It can be
Yes.
so, you know, beautiful. At first it's hard because you're not used to doing that, but the more you do it, the more natural it becomes, and the more loving it is. And then because you cannot love others and you cannot be of service to others if you don't love yourself first, if you don't fill the cup first. If your cup is half, I would say now empty, like here, you wouldn't be able to give. But if it's full like yours, Gina, then you can give to others.
Great analogy. Yes. Or our viewers will be really interested to know your healing journey. How did it take off from, you know, here to suddenly, you know, be here?
Yes. So yeah, it started, like I said, like I was depressed, anxious. I finished with my studies. I didn't know what I was doing. And then this was back in Switzerland, 2019. And then I came here to visit my partner, who is from Australia. And then, you know, I was here, like the first few weeks were like heaven because you're in a new country, it's exciting, stuff like that. But then once the routine started to kick in and the borders closed, and I knew I have to make a decision, I either stay here with him or I go back to Switzerland and not be able to see each other. I decided to stay here. And at first, like I said, it was exciting, new. But then slowly, like the routine started to creep in, and I realized that, I didn't know myself. This is so hard to be with myself, because before I had distractions. I was studying all the time. I was doing courses. I was doing triathlons. I was doing all these crazy things, jumping out of planes, like all these crazy things. And then in lockdown, I was like forced to like get to know myself, to get to know what I want in life, to get to know. And once I knew what I want to know, where I want to get, I realized that I had to do some healing before I get there. And this is when I started doing so many different, like courses, and I got myself a business coach and a life coach, and I started doing seminars online, obviously because of lockdown. And I got another coach, and yoga as well was a big part for me as well, like the practice of yoga. And it's where and it stems it stems from India, and I recently got like the teachers training, like my certificate to like officially teach yoga. I've been teaching for a year, and I just found like all these three combinations of like yoga, coaching, and meditation, three things like combined in a course, is just so powerful, because everything gives you one tool that you need, and like the way, because for me it was like very powerful for me that all these things helped me in my journey. So I decided to take what helped me, those tools, to actually create my own program and help others with their journey, of healing from depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, like low worthiness, And so I take people through this journey from, where I was a few years ago, where I was depressed, overwhelmed, anxious, low self-esteem, low confidence, to yourself, authentic self, where you can be radiant, happy to be yourself, happy with yourself, and find peace in this crazy world, like find tools that allow you to find peace in this crazy world, and once you have that, you automatically want to share with others, and then you'll be like a role model for others. And this is like, I love this so much, because it's like a big heart that, like, once you're healed, and it's a journey, you can start sharing what you have with others. So it's like this ripple effect of many hearts, one heart gives many hearts, and you can only do that back if your cup is full, so heal yourself first, and then you can start giving to others. So that's how I did it, through like this program that I'm giving myself now to my clients as well, and I help them go through this as well. Every single person on earth has fears, has things that they haven't figured out. But the thing is that we all can, evolve. It's possible to like change, And once you see that other people are struggling with the same things, once you see that those people as well overcome it, then you start creating your beliefs, and then you realize, it is possible, and I can do this too. It is possible.
Yes, and I'm not alone gives you a lot of courage to move ahead. And when I met you, you were ahead in my journey. You had figured it out, a lot of things for yourself, and you were on I would say a very higher level of healing when I met you versus mine, and that gave me a lot of help and courage, and to figure out things for myself. But yes, I was unconsciously judging you, or it was like it seemed to be your journey is easier and everything till I met.
I remember we had this conversation.
Yes, until we met. Yeah. Oh,
no, you go.
Please continue. Please continue. Yeah.
No, it's just like something that I'd like to add here as well. I think for viewers, it's very important to know for them as well, is that it's okay. It's good that you learn from people that are ahead from you. That's really good.
Yes.
But then also don't put them on a pedestal. Don't think that they're any better or that you're any less. No. they're just a little bit ahead, and what can I learn from them? So instead of comparing yourself to them, because I used to do that all the time, where I compare myself to people that I would feel bad because I'm not there yet, and I would feel jealous, and all those ugly feelings would come up. And I would feel like once I feel jealous, I'm like judging myself. How come I feel jealous? I shouldn't feel jealous. It's a good person. Why am I feeling jealous? Blah, blah, blah. And then I realized that one, this is normal. Everyone has that feeling. But instead of letting it control you, you accept it. And you ask yourself, why am I jealous? Maybe I want to have what they have. Okay, is it really that I want to have it? Then if it's yes, then you tell yourself, what do I need to do to get there? And if it's not, then you just put it away. So it's really important to like learn from the person, like be inspired, but not think that they are, like so ahead that you'll never get there. Yes. Because it's possible for you too. It's just like we're on different journeys. So instead of comparing yourself to others, let others inspire you. Yes. And then instead of comparing yourself to the others, compare yourself to yourself yesterday or 1 year ago.
So we have to know. I think in the beginning of the interview also I said it's very important for you to know where you are in your journey. Not where you want to go first, but you have to know where are you first. So that you can start from there, and everyday planning, everyday dedication, everyday practice, practicing your tools every single day, no matter how exhausted or how busy or whatever you are. You can give reasons or excuses to yourself, or you can, get on to actions. There are only two things possible, and which one do you choose? And when we are so dedicated, for me, again, the friendship comes into existence when I saw you, when I have so many other friends, when I see people ahead of me, I just, I try even more harder. I pushed myself harder because I know I want to do it. I know I will get there. And this is how, we first have to know first that where are we in our journey.
Yes, exactly. That's so important. Because then, like you said, otherwise we just set unrealistic goals and then
we keep beating ourselves, that I couldn't do this, I couldn't do this. Did you ever know where you were at the beginning? So this is so important. I think with depression and anxiety, I understand that it is more to do with your self-awareness and knowing who am I in this crazy world.
And where do I want to go as well? That's also important. Where do I want to go? Do I want to stay there, or do I want to move on and become a different person? That's also important.
That's so awesome. And we have been like so much. I don't know about you, Nesrine, but I have been a people pleaser all my life. I wanted to really. I could dare someone. I could dare tell someone or like I was so sensitive that. What if I hurt this person with my action, with my talk or something, I might have been still hurting, but I was so conscious. I was a big time people pleaser till I realized that this is not getting people closer to me, but this is getting me far from myself. I don't have to do this. I just have to be myself. If you like me or you don't like me, it's your choice.
Because if you are yourself, not only are you going to be happy and you're going to be fulfilled yourself and you're going to fill your cup. But then also you're going to attract the right people into your life. Because by me, I used to have that 100% that I used to be people pleaser all the time. And I used to attract really toxic people into my life. And I attracted my ex-husband into my life who is like very abusive emotionally and physically. So I attracted that because I was just people pleasing. I was just looking so badly for love, for acknowledgement, for validation, and because I wasn't myself, I thought being myself is gonna is not gonna get me there, like unconsciously. I tried to be someone else. I also, for me, like how I look was also a big thing. I also always
same thing.
Especially in Tunisia, like the looks are the most important thing for people. It's more important than anything else.
Yes.
I obsess so much about
so much of pressure to look good all the time.
Everything. Yes, all the time, exactly. So just one up is like this. I used to be worried all the time, and Oh, just crazy. It's just
Crazy,
so
crazy.
draining. And
I I think for me, the level to be happy was if you're fair, if your skin color and your body, if these two things,
yes,
and then the third, I realized after my post my first depression that if you have no anxiety, you have a great skin color and a great body. That's it. That's enough to live this life, you know. And I was such a liar. My mind was such a liar, actually. None of
yes.
it
Oh,
looked. I tried everything under the sun to look fair or beautiful or do something, but nothing worked till I worked for myself. My dear young girls, teenagers, I beg of you not to fall in that trap. You know, it is.
yeah.
You can look good for yourself, but not to please others or not to have any standards. You know, not to reach anywhere because it's not going to take you anywhere. Actually,
This is
it's
so good that you shared that with the teenagers. The thing, because that was a big issue for me too growing up. I
yes,
always
same.
wanted part German and part Swiss, so I'm taller than people in Tunisia. And then I used to wanted to be shorter like them. I wanted to fit in, like all these things, like I had like bigger feet as well because I'm taller, right? So I couldn't find shoes that, oh, actually I would buy the smaller size just to look that I have the similar size as them. Like it went so crazy to like yeah, to live like that now looking
What a
back. But
pressure. What a pressure, right? I can,
yeah,
yes,
so
same,
much
same.
pressure that we put on ourselves and
I
it's
have
not
done
needed.
so. And yes, what advice would you like to give Nasreen before you leave to our viewers who are watching this and who have their own labels on depression and anxiety that people cannot function? This and this happens because both of us have gone through suicidal thoughts and this everything that you can name it. We have gone through depression in our own journey.
Like first, a really important thing is that to realize that you're not alone. Like if you're going through any of those things that we mentioned, you're not alone. And there's so many people that have that as well. And second advice, reach out for help. Please don't let it consume you. Don't let it stop you from living a beautiful life. Reach out for help. It is so important. Those three are definitely a big one that would definitely help you.
Thank you so much, Rasin. I'm sure this episode is really going to help many in my country because still in my country, I don't see a lot of awareness around depression and anxiety. Still, it is under the carpet. We don't talk about it. And Rasin, where can people reach out to you if they want to know your tools, your journey, or anything if they want to learn from you? How can they directly reach you and where can they reach you?
Yes, so I'm on Facebook. So under like my nickname is Ness, Nes, and then Emery, so Amri. So you find me on Facebook. The same on Instagram, or you can also tag Fulfilling Yoga page on Facebook. So fulfilling yoga for a fulfilled life, but the thing is fulfilling yoga. So there you can find me, and I usually always share like tools, like yoga sessions. Of course, also my YouTube channel, Fulfilling Yoga, as well. There you can find yoga sessions that help you to love yourself, to gain confidence in your body, to meditate, to find peace, within that this chaotic world. So, so you find me as well on YouTube there, and on social media. I always share some tools that will help you to like heal, and that will help you to gain confidence, and that would help you to be your authentic self and shine. Allow yourself to shine. That's a really important one.
Yes. Thank you. We really appreciate your efforts to be with us and lots of love to you, my friend.
Thank you so much, Tia, for having me, and thank you for providing this beautiful space. And I hope to all your listeners that they take action on this because it's super important. And I wish everyone all the best from my heart.